Good morning. It's Wednesday, day 11, I think, out on the CDT. And because we did some miles yesterday, we have a good chance of making it out of the Gila today. And that will have the little advantage that tomorrow we're not going to get our feet wet again with all those river crossings. So it's about 17 miles to the junction where the Brown Trail, which is the fire diversion route, heads out of this valley and kind of goes up on the top of those walls that you see to the left and right of this canyon. And then it's another 4.5 miles across a high plateau and a saddle. It's about a 400 vertical meter climb, or 1500 feet. And then I have to see if I'll make it all the way to Snow Lake where there's water. Then it will be 24 miles, or I'll stay at a campground at about 20 miles, and I'll make that decision based on how I feel later in the day. So in the afternoon, when it's 25 degrees, this is really refreshing. At 6 in the morning, it is brrrr. You can also tell that we're getting closer to the fire, because you sometimes do smell a little bit of like the smell of wood burning in the air. So either that or I have a tumor, might also be. So the 17.5 miles to the exit out of the canyon are probably gonna take the better half of the day. It's really usually that will take about 6 hours of walking roughly, but down here in the canyon it's slow going. It's beautiful and it's a wilderness area, but because of that it's also hard trail, so there's a lot of broken trees, obstacles, sandbanks, bushwhacking, river crossings, all of that kind of stuff, which makes for an interesting hike, but for slow hiking. So we'll see how long it'll take us. This part upstream the Gila River is a lot less walked than the ones down where we were yesterday. There were actually day hikers out there, or people doing smaller loops, and that is clearly not the case here. You can tell specifically because the trail is more of a concept of a trail. It's very hard to find, and you often get lost, and it's not really well marked. And some interesting water for a change. Let's hope there's no alligators, huh? It's official. I think I got lost for the first time. So it's really hard to get lost down here. Somehow I ended up on the wrong side of the river, and suddenly the trail was gone. So now I'm trying to find it again. Woohoo! I made it. Back to the trail. So it's 10 o'clock and the first rays of sunshine are hitting the canyon floor. So that's real handy because it is quite chilly here in the morning. In the meantime, we continue on the 5,000 meter hurdle course that is the Upper Gila River. So we're crossing the river about, I'd say, every 5 minutes. So in a lot higher frequency than before, the section before Doc Campbell's. Here upstream, the canyon is just a lot smaller. The river is also smaller. So you just go back and forth all the time. And even though I'm wearing gaiters, it just over time there's this layer of sediment or gravel that just gets stuck in your shoes. So every now and then you just have to rinse your shoes and throw out all the gravel to prevent blisters. Now, this morning there's like a group of us that has kind of formed because we all stayed in the same spot overnight. It's Zamboni and Zinger, you saw earlier, and Skipper and Potato. So we are just kind of going back and forth. And the good thing is, because I'm currently last, because you can't find the trail very often, but you're crossing the river so often, so you always take like a whole bunch of water with you in your shoes, and then because there's a lot of loose gravel and sand and these wet clumps form, so it's really easy to follow them because you just have to follow the wet clumps. So I'm back in trekking modus again. I'm about a mile out from the junction where the fire detour takes off and climbs over to the east. It's pretty bad now. The air is filled with smoke. You can clearly smell that there's a big fire going on. It's also very hazy. So I guess that's probably a good idea that we're getting out of here. Today was really tough. The trail was rough, bad tread, a lot of bushwhacking, lots of river crossings. So it was really slow going. Took a lot of concentration. I don't know how how often I almost rolled my ankles, but it was also amazing hiking. So it was really it was a great day, but it was exhausting. So we didn't get too much done today. I will, however, probably aim to get out of Gila regardless, at least today, because that way I don't have any river crossings tomorrow and can actually dry my shoes out and socks out. So it would be good if we can close that chapter. Not sure if you can see it, but it's really hazy, and the afternoon sun just puts on this eerie yellow sulfur-like light. And these trees here have clearly already seen their share of burning. So depending on how that fire develops, it might just come right through here and well, take out hopefully just what's below the trees. Even though you can see it's already pretty clean. There's very little shrubs and dead wood on the ground. That rim that you're seeing there to the right, that's the first stage of the climb. So we're gonna climb out of this canyon and cross a little plateau, head over another saddle, which is about 2,500 meters, and then head down on the other side to a little campground. Goodbye to the Gila Wilderness and the Gila River. It was really nice walking next to you, and thank you for providing all the water that you provided. So it's 6 o'clock. We just sat down for dinner to have dinner here at the river, so we don't have to carry that water, because we're probably gonna do a dry camp tonight. So we're aiming to hit that little campground slash parking area about 4 miles away. So if all goes well, we'll get there before dark. I'll be honest, today was a hard day, and now we got a 1,500 feet climb ahead of us. So I think it's just gonna be the end for today. I don't have any energy anymore. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately forest fire makes some of the best sunset.